Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bubby Brister and Friends Fantasy Football Podcast presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. The last we heard of Bubby, he was in an Altoona McDonald's, so I'm joined here by Nick this week. Nick, I say we skip the topic of the week and go right to the box scores because we got a lot to cover. This is week 14. The playoffs are this week. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so we're jumping right to New Day Co-op, Slade versus me, fantasy football team. I won this game, 140-77. I am on a 2-game winning streak. Slade needed a win here to get the playoffs. He didn't do it. The poor guy had to play Cooper Rush as a starting quarterback in a must-win game. And that is because Kirk Cousins has 8 interceptions and 0 touchdown passes since week 9. Do you think Kirk Cousins is cooked?
He's cooked. He is cooked. You know, the Falcons, they need to decide right now if you're the Falcons franchise, what are you going to do? One of two things. Either you're going to bench Kurt and try to start Penix now and see what it looks like, or, you know, you're going to keep trying to use Kirk to hold make the playoffs, get a worse draft pick. So, I mean, if you're in a rebuild like they're in, I'm just saying, like, let's just start Penix. Let's see what Penix got, and Kurt sit out the rest of this year, and then we'll reevaluate next year. Because he has no ability. He has none. So it's bad.
Yeah, the immortal words of the great Tony Kornheiser. I believe I had that one. That's why you drafted Michael Penix. I felt like I was on an island screaming at people, this is a good draft pick. This is a good draft pick.
You were.
They're at the point now where even if Penix is a flop, it was still worth the risk of handcuffing Kirk Cousins. And I even like Kirk Cousins. I really do. But I know who he is. Everyone in the media knows who he is. All the fans know who he is. But they still went to bat for this guy. It was like, no. No. You can't shit on Kirk Cousins his entire career and then stick up for him when, you know, the shiny new object shows up. It was... You ever have those sports moments where you're like, what are you guys talking about? And you feel like you're all alone?
Yeah. I mean, Kirk Cousins, he has the ability, he has the arm talent. The problem is his mobility. He has none. The Falcons have a bad offensive line. And he's making bad choices with all the interceptions he's throwing. That's a problem. That's the reason why they're losing these games of late. Like, he's throwing a lot of picks, man.
And he
had like 4 against the Chargers, no 2 this week. I'm like, come on, man. And there's no touchdowns. They're just straight interceptions. Like, if you're any other quarterback, you'll get benched. So Kirk Cousins, you're not immune to getting benched with this.
And he really misses Justin Jefferson. He was hiding a lot of Kirk Cousins' deficiencies the last couple of years, and it's come to fruition now. And a bit New Day in the ass here. Like I said, he had to play Cooper Rush, 20 points. You're lucky you got that out of him. He played Breece Hall, sucks, but it didn't hurt him. There was a couple times this year guys left out guys in the lineups, but it didn't really seem to affect anybody, which is good. It did cost Heater a win once, but the other times didn't matter. Josh Jacobs, another huge game, 30 points, 3 touchdowns. Shakur had 21 points for him. Christian Watson tried to get me back for dropping him. 4 catches, 114. Trey McBride finished the regular season with 0 touchdowns. That is amazing for a top 3 tight end.
Yeah, top 3 tight end, no touchdowns at all. That's tough to do. You know, shame on Kyle Murray. I'm pitting suspect on Kyle Murray. Kyle Murray's a suspect quarterback. He is very suspect now.
I had to play Jameis Winston with no Daniels. He got me 22, which is good. Tough matchup against the Steelers. Tony Pollard, 102 yards, 22 points. He's been really reliable for me since the trade. I had to play double Titans running backs in this game. That is a tough look. Thankfully, it wasn't must-win for me. Tajay Spears got me 5 points. There was a situation in our league that there's a bunch of us. There's 13 of us who did bad. There were 2 huge fantasy pickups this week at running back, and it was Zach Charbonnet and Braylon Allen. And only 2 people put waiver claims on them. I was one of them. So that's like a 28 claim. What's the word I'm looking for? Like hypothetical. There should have been 28 claims on these two guys from 14 teams. One claim each per team. And I put one on
Right.
Braylon Allen. I didn't put one in on Charbonnet, so I'm not patting myself on the back here. Smash Hawk got both of them. He got Charbonnet and Braylon Allen in Week 14 when everybody needed running backs. He couldn't believe it. I talked to him today about it. But I could have used Charbonnet or Braylon Allen here with Tajay Spears. Playing two Titans is not good. You can't feel good about that. But Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, and Adam Thielen, my two receivers in my flex, they got me 66 points combined. And then my last word here is on Brock Bowers. He didn't have a good game this week, only 3 catches, 49 yards. But he now has 87 receptions on the season. Do you know whose rookie tight end record that breaks?
Sam Laporta.
Yes. And mind you, he set that less than a calendar year ago.
You had Sam Laporta last year.
I did. And I loved him, but I didn't ever think Brock Bowers would out-catch him this year. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, Brock Bowers, kudos to that. I mean, that shows the lack of depth at Las Vegas, because even with Devontae doing nothing, I mean, Devontae Adams left, and his targets and catches spiked hard. He'd have 10 catch games, 11 catch games, so that's big time. You know what I mean? It's just tough for New Day Co-op to, you have 2-0 points.
Yeah.
That's tough. And this is a must-win game for him right there. So
and a losing
that was
head
a really
coach.
tough one. Yeah, losing head coach. 2, just to pile it on with the Buffalo head coach, which is not a bad start. You know what I mean? You're starting Buffalo head coach. You're thinking they could possibly beat the Rams. And that shootout of a game happened. But Tyreek Hill, he came alive for you, though, with 10 catches for 115.
Yeah, great. Perfect timing, too. He's ready to go. I think he's finally healthy as healthy as he's going to be this season. Tua, full force until the next episode with him. And Thielen coming up big. So, good win for me. I got Hunter Henry back on a waiver claim. So now I got Brock Bowers insurance. You can do cool stuff once all the bye weeks are done. Like, I picked up Chris Rodriguez Jr. and Tajay Spears as my 2 bench running backs to back up Pollard and Robinson. Because if either of them go down, there's no one left on the waiver wire, so you might as well have their handcuffs.
Yeah, might as well.
That's it for me, though. Renegades of Funk versus Smash Hawk. We had 2 people score over 200 points this week. Smash Hawk was one of them. And I mentioned Charbonnet earlier, 45 points, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a spot start for Kenny Walker. So Kenny Walker's supposed to come back. You got to think Charbonnet's going to eat some of his workload now, right?
Yes. Yeah, he comes back. Kenny Walker's jumping in the first part, and Cabernet's going back second again. He also, Smash Hawk also picked up McCormick, who was the starting running back for Las Vegas, too. He ran decently against a tough Tampa Bay defense. 16 points there. He had a New Orleans head coach win, even with Derek Carr going down for a season injury. They blocked that field goal for that win. That's what they did. Yeah, they blocked the field goal for that. But he had Johnson for New Orleans, 4 for 50. Smith, Njigma continues his hot rookie season. I mean, it's pretty good. Get in the slot.
Second season, right?
Is it second season?
Yeah, I think it's the second season.
Okay, well, that's pretty good. You know what I mean? For a second year, is it? Because I thought it was his rookie season, but I might be wrong. But he came alive. He started off really slow this season and then came alive later. So good on him. AJ Brown though, 4 for 43, and there's a lot of turmoil in Philly. Tua Katu's hot streak of 30 points, 331 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tua's a machine. He will throw the ball a lot. Miami offense, is fool's gold. If they make the playoffs, they're not going far. When we later on see A-Chain's numbers, we'll show you why. Because it's all Tua or bust for real. You know what I mean? If they had a winning record, Tua should be top 3 MVP conversation because that team don't move without him.
Yeah, good pickup by Smash Hawk to grab him when he was injured too, when he traded Kyler Murray. Because he'd be fucked without Tua. He'd be playing Stroud at quarterback. Because it made sense to pick Stroud over Murray at that time when that trade was made. But he shrewdly slid Tua onto his IR spot, and it's paying off now because Smash Hawk had a season where he started out hot, went cold, and now he's picking it back up for the playoffs.
So Renegades of Funk, Brock Purdy, 31 points, 2 touchdowns. He's back to good old-fashioned Brock. Pachenko, they couldn't. The Chiefs, man, that Chiefs offense is rough, man. It's not pretty at all. It's not the Chiefs offense of old. There's not a lot of fancy points from that offense for real. 11 points there. Tracy Jr. for the Giants, though, 45 points, a touchdown, 24 yards. He's solid. He's going to be a solid, he should be a top 15 pick next year, the way he's moving. And of note, Devontae Adams, 9 for 109 and a touchdown. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is feeding Devontae Adams. His targets are crazy right now. For his targets to be as high as he is and his catches are, you could tell both of them are old men trying to do something, and it's not a pretty look.
Yeah, he's got happy feet. Renegades of Funk missed the playoffs. He finished 6-8. St. Brown, 10 points. He had a good year for him. Number 3 ranked receiver. DJ Moore, 15th ranked receiver. He, from week 6 through week 10, that includes one bye week. So those 4 games, DJ Moore disappeared. He had single-digit points all those weeks, but every other week he was good this year. Got a winning Lions head coach, but he wasn't going to win this game. Smash Hawk dropped 204 on him and just wiped him off the planet, basically.
Yeah, when you face somebody that drops a 40 burger and 2 30s on you, it's not pretty. When 100 points happen between 3 people, that's a recipe for a loss. It's a recipe for a loss.
Yeah, Charbonnet, just a great pickup. This is Smith and Jigba's second season, by the way.
Okay.
And Sincere McCormick, who you mentioned, has 27 points the last 2 weeks. He Smash Hawk pulled 3 running backs out of his ass for the playoffs. He might not play him, but you still want him on your roster because there's no one else.
No one else is going to take him, right. Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about Kyron Williams before we go. Another 33 points. No single-digit games this season. He had a touchdown every game except for weeks 8 through 11. He was just great. Top 5 running back. Where was he drafted? 14th overall. I think if we drafted now, he'd probably go, I'd say, in the top 10
pick. Yeah, he'd be a top 10 pick. Yeah. He's the engine that made the Rams go. That's it. Like when both receivers are gone, the offense went through him. Both receivers are back. The offense is still kind of going through him. He's not flashy, but he's very consistent. And being consistent at running the ball, it's good. It's great.
I think Sean McVay is one of the lone coaches you can trust as a fantasy player to use one running back exclusively.
Yeah, if McVay likes a player, he's going to get that player involved. That's one thing about Sean McVay. The problem is that if he doesn't like that player, that you ain't going to see no plays designed. You know what I mean? His tight ends are non-existent. His slot receivers are non-existent. It's like the offense is usually three players, and it's amazing.
And it seems like those players get injured because he overuses them.
Yes.
Kupp, Nakua, and both missed time with injuries. Kyron Williams did last season, but he stayed healthy this year.
Oh, he'll run him into the ground. He will.
Yep. Third game on the agenda, we got Spawn versus Punishers. This was a matchup of the 2 best teams in the league, but it did not play out that way. Spawn crushed Punishers, but Punishers has a great excuse. He did not have Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson this week due to bye weeks. And I was thinking about this when I was looking at the scores during the games. That's probably a best-case scenario for Rob Hine to not have Jackson and Henry in Week 14 as a team who already made the playoffs, because that means you are going to have them for the playoffs. They're not going to get injured in the final week before the playoffs start.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would have been nice to win this game, but he wouldn't have even got the number 1 seed with a win here. So it's perfect storm for him. But he did lose, barely scored 100. But that's going to happen when Wan'Dale Robinson is your number 1 receiver. Nick Westbrook Ikine is your wide receiver 2, and Jacoby Myers is your flex.
Yeah, he might have a wide receiver issue because I mean he could throw Scary Terry in there, but after that it's kind of barren on the rest of the team. So he probably moved Jacoby Myers up to the wide receiver 2, and then he'll have to figure out what his flex spot looks like. So that's might be kind of iffy there for him. But beyond that, you're right. He had it's the best time to not play him. So it's that both teams are in the playoffs, and then one team still starters, another team like the Payne Manning teams like we're sitting out. The last 2 weeks like we're sitting out. But you get an undefeated season, we're gonna sit them out. You know what I mean? So it's like, well.
Yeah, perfect example. And Westbrook Ikine had been very good the last 3 weeks coming into this game. He just laid a dud here. His last 3 weeks he had
At least a touchdown every game, yeah.
52 points in 3 weeks and 4 touchdowns. So it wasn't like that was a play from left field. Chuba Hubbard did his shit again. He was great. He had a great season. To spawn, Joe Burrow again in 3 touchdowns, 369 yards.
And a lost fumble.
Yeah, and a pick.
Let's be honest, man. Joe Burrow, he is very talented, and he's an amazing fantasy quarterback. Let me tell you. But NFL quarterback, he's a little sussy because it's like he turns the ball over. Like you see the stat sheet, 3 touchdowns, 370, but then there's two turnovers. He averaged like 2 turnovers a game. So it's like you have to play, and then the Bengals defense is so bad that we'll get into later what the Dallas Cowboy running back did against them. It's just it's Joe Burrow needs to protect the ball better because the offense is definitely clicking, but there's definitely an issue on the defense side, and if Joe Burrow can't protect the ball like that, they're not going to have a winning record. This window is gone.
Yeah, there's some things I pick up on from doing this podcast with you and looking at these box scores, and I see them from a reality football thing and a fantasy football thing, and that's one thing you see from Joe Burrow in all these games is there's some turnovers here, and his stats are being padded because the defense are so bad, and a lot of passing yards sometimes isn't good. It's like the Jameis Winston effect.
Yes, exactly, Jameis Winston. That's what I think of. Jameis Winston, Tampa Bay, circa 2019. It's like, man, look at all these points, but then defense scores more points. So like, the hell, the defense gives up more points than the offense is getting, so it's a bad time. You called it last week, Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving literally played. He ran the ball maybe twice, I think, maybe 3 times, and then he was out. His back was hurting too much. He got hit one time. He's a small dude, so if he's not fully healthy, he can't absorb those hits, and he was out for the rest of the game. And became the Rashad White show with Tucker dispelling him. So if I'm him, I would try to get Tucker because Tucker's going to get some carries in there. I mean, he does have Kenneth Walker hopefully coming back next week. Or he has Gus Bus on the bench. And he has Joe Mixon. So he has lots of running backs. But still, you want to do something because Deebo Samuels is not the guy to get you to a bowl.
Yeah, Deebo is just...
He's getting cut. It's gonna be a cut. He'll be on another team next year.
Yeah, they paid Ayuk too. Yeah, if you're Spawn, you're worried about Kenny Walker and Bucky Irving going into next week. But Gus Bus had 13 points and Dobbins is done for the year. So I mean, you could do worse, but he dropped Cole Kmet today, I saw, because he had Alan Lazard return from IR. But I probably would have dropped Lazard. How about you? Because Lazard hasn't played since week 7, but a lot has happened since then where,
Devontae
Aaron Rodgers is only throwing the ball to Devontae.
Yeah, it's only Levante and Garrett Wilson's getting up the scraps beyond that. So Lazard getting maybe 3 targets a game at best. So it's not... No, they're not the greatest show on turf, guys. Justin Jefferson 7 for 132 and 2 touchdowns. Vintage Justin Jefferson game. Minnesota absolutely exploded that game for Kirk Cousins' return. They let him know that we're a better team without you. Jerry Jeudy continues his hot streak of 5 for 64 and a touchdown. I mean, shout out to Jerry Jeudy, man. He has all the tools to do it. You know what I mean? It's just now, I guess, in Cleveland, of all places, with Jameis Winston of all people is showing that he could. Jerry Judy's a great route runner, and that's when I watch highlights of him. His cuts on routes are amazing. He's not going to make the all-star catches that Justin Jefferson's going to do and he's not going to shake a person like Justin Jefferson either. But if he's going to turn to the left, he will turn to left sharp, and is sudden, so he'll get wide open immediately, and he has speed to get open. So, and he looks like he's actually what's the word? Not paying attention to football, but like he's focused on football. Because in Denver, he didn't seem as focused. You know what I mean? A lot of bullshit. And like now he's actually really focused on the game, and you see it.
It looks like he's having fun. It didn't look like he was having fun in Denver.
Yeah. And
but he's approaching.
Yeah.
Jerry Judy's approaching 1,000 yards. So, yeah, great pick by Rob. Great to hold on to him during his early season struggles. It's paying off now. He's the 11th ranked fantasy receiver, which is crazy.
Because he's blown up the last couple weeks. That 200-yard game definitely helps you out. Because not a lot of receivers have 200-yard receiving games this year. Usually around this time, you have about 3 or 4. I think we have like 2 this year. So it's not as... Go ahead.
Because running backs are back.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The running back is back. But lastly, the Niners defense put in a whole work on the Bears, the distraught Bears team here. The rudderless Bears. You know what I mean? They just took them out the tool shed and beat them up. 22 points.
Yeah, speaking of the Bears, Hine had to play Caleb Williams in the Lamar Jackson spot, and he had 134 yards passing. The Bears deserve every bad thing that happens to them the rest of the season.
I think the Niners had that game well in hand before he got benched. It was a wrap. I mean, Caleb, he threw 2 touchdowns, but it was never a chance. Never a doubt they were going to lose this game. Yeah,
that game was over before it started. Our next game, Jones, Boy Scout trombones, 154. Mile High Salute, 94. Mile High Salute's bad season ends with less than 100 points. He's 5-9. Jones got to 7-7. Spoiler alert: he stole your playoff spot. He had double digits from nearly everybody except for Juju Smith and his kicker. But big win for him. He left the Vikings coach on the bench, too. He's got bench issues, though. Mostert is hurt. Lad McConkey is hurt. Zach Ertz is old. Hurts, 30 points. Najee Harris, 17 points. Algier, 14 points. I kind of regret trading him, even though I do like having Pollard's handcuff. Jamar Chase, we mentioned him with Burrow, basically. He's... feeling that Jameis Winston effect. 14 catches, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Let me say something about Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had 18 targets that game. He had 18 targets, 14 catches. And T. Higgins had less than 5 targets that game. The hell's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, the first 4 weeks of the season, Chase didn't have double-digit targets. And then in his remaining 9 games, he had 6 games of double-digit targets. So, Jamar Chase really does have Joe Burrow's eyes, and it seems like T. Higgins is probably going to walk at the end of the season because he played on that franchise tag this year, and someone's going to give him some money. T. Higgins is on his way out the door. DeAndre Hopkins, another guy who... Do you think he'll be back in Kansas City next year? He's been okay.
If he is, he'll be on a much cheaper contract, I guess, than he is now. Because you could tell he lost it. He's not D-Hop anymore. This isn't D-Hop. We don't call him D-Hop. He's DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, he's the elder statesman. I mean, if they keep him back, they have to figure out what they're going to do with Worthy. Because Worthy's not showing me any type of wide receiver 1 or 2. He's not showing any of that. He's not showing me Deshaun Jackson.
They haven't been able to develop any receivers. Like, remember Sky Moore was all the rage the year he was drafted. He hasn't done shit. He's probably barely in the league at this point. Juju Smith-Schuster is barely in the league. He got the start for Jones here in an emergency play.
But that's a bigger problem on Kansas City's coaching staff, because you could draft a young wide receiver, but then what prospect are you drafting, and how much this prospect knows, and then yeah, you could bring in a veteran, Juju or somebody, but they have to understand their role. Example would be Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. So they had Diggs and Thielen. That was the combo, right? And then all of a sudden, Diggs is tripping, like he always does, and they kicked him out. They kicked him out, and they drafted Jefferson. And then Thielen's still there. And it doesn't mean that, hey, Jefferson struggled because he needed a veteran, but Adam Thielen definitely probably helped, to help them with that, and now Thielen's in North Carolina, and now he's trying to help the wide receiver there, but Leggett, he's literally the reason why they lost this past Sunday. He dropped the ball on a dime, he dropped it. Adam Thielen can't teach him that. It was a great throw from a guy who we all threw him away, and now he crawled out from the ashes. You know what I mean? But Adam Thielen's he's showing that he still got it. So
yeah,
so I think it depends on what role you are, understand where you're at in your career and what you could do. And D-Hop, if he wants to be a leader and actually teach a actual legit wide receiver how to do something, it'd be great. Because I remember it was like, oh, D-Hop's coming to the Chiefs. Oh my God, he's gonna be such a different maker. He's not a different maker. He's not Rashid Rice. Rashid Rice is a really good wide receiver.
Yeah, Hopkins seems like a compiler. He just seems like a guy. He's Tracy McGrady.
Okay. I see
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that. But
fill the stat book up. But you're not going to get like the intangibles of like the locker room, that killer instinct to win a playoff game, or he's going to make everybody around him better. It's just, hey, you want an all-star player who's going to make some points, and you get them points scored. He got it because he has a highlight reel. He could, man, them catches were crazy back then.
Yeah, he's on his last legs. To my high salute, there's nothing here. He got Garundo on that waiver claim. Remember we said it was a Garundo sweepstakes? There was like 8 waiver claims on him. Now we see why. 32 points, 2 touchdowns, 78 yards. He's banged up, though. He might not play this week, so next.
We talked about the Niners running back room. It's a confirmed reward. He runs his running backs into the dirt.
Jayden Reed got a 0. That's tough stuff. Keenan Allen came back down to earth after flying high the 2 previous weeks. Mike Gesicki, I said he was going to break out this year, and he didn't. He did have 1 really good game and then 3 nice games. But the fact that he's on a roster in Week 14, that shows he did have some value.
Yes. Starter, too. So, yes.
That's it, though. Nothing here. Yeah, Boswell finished as the number 1 kicker, so he had the number 1 kicker on his team all season. That's
60-point loss, so it's tough.
Yeah, nothing on the bench. George Pickens missed a game with an injury.
Yeah, he's looking to miss the second game too.
The next game, stealing the wins versus Dead Money. This was a contractual obligation to have this game played. 139-90. Dead Money. I mean, the shitty season continues. Like you said, Devon Achane has.
How many rushing yards does he have this year, for real?
Right. He's only averaging. I can't even do the math. It's not good. 24, 31, 56, 60. 31 carries for 60 rushing yards last 3 weeks.
That's terrible. And that's why I'm like, he's all catches. He's a scat back. And this is why Miami can't get far, because and when you play December weather, it get cold, man. You got to run the ball for real. And A-Chain's numbers running the ball, they're just terrible. And he does pad the stats. He's a great fantasy running back. He's an amazing fantasy running back. Yeah. Because he fills the stat sheet up.
I drafted him 21st overall. I thought that was a steal at the time. I was proven correct. But I did think he would be better at running the ball. This is a problem for him going forward. The Dolphins should invest in another running back because Mostert is old and always injured. They did draft the guy from Villanova, right? So they got to. You can use Achan as a pass receiving back, but you can't rely on him. Those numbers are god awful.
Because if you're looking at his rushing yards, he has 600 yards rushing. He missed no games this year. You know what I mean? Like he missed none. He played every game this year. So he played 13 games. He has 153 carries. You know what I mean? It's not pretty. But then you look at his receiving you're talking about 7 catches, 5 catches. He had a couple of low scoring. Then he has like 8 catches. Then Tua's back. 8 catches, 5 catches, 4 catches, 9 catches, 7 catches. Like he's a slot receiver averaging at least 55 yards a game receiving, which definitely helps out with the carries, which his best carrying game was 97 yards. He didn't crack 100 yards. That was off 10 carries. He had another game. He had 22 carries and 96 yards. So beyond that, though, he's had games with 10 carries for 15 yards, 11 for 30. I mean, it's 12 for 37.
Yeah, he's the rare running back where his fantasy numbers will suffer if the Dolphins have a lead.
Right, exactly. The last week, he had 14 carries for 24 yards. That's pathetic. That is bad. That's 2 yards a carry. You know what I mean? And that shows the lack of depth they have there.
CeeDee Lamb had 21 points. Another game, though, under 100 yards, 6 catches, 93 and a touchdown.
7 targets.
That trade is fascinating to me. I think about it every week, looking at these box scores. I think he won the trade, but barely. I've said that a couple times. But, I mean, if Tyreek Hill is going to pick it up going to the playoffs, I would do the trade again.
Yep, yeah. It's worth it. If Tyreek explodes for a 40-burger, 200-yard, you know what I mean, something he could do, because he could do with Tua, he could do that with Tua. So, I mean, or he gives you like 153 touchdowns. Again, with Tua, he could do that. It's worth it because you're getting him at the right time, healthy at the right time. But
yeah, and Pollard's been solid.
I'm super disappointed in Marvin Harrison Jr. And again, I'm looking at Kyle Murray. He's pathetic, man. As a quarterback, man, I just can't. For a guy his talent he has, his stats this year have been terrible. 15 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He has a little under 3,000 yards throwing this year. I mean, as a fantasy quarterback, he's great because he's going to give you those rushing carries. So that's always great. But beyond that, his passing stats are terrible. You know what I mean? He's definitely below like the 15 quarterbacks. He's the bottom 15. I mean, he's like at that back half of the 15. He's not top 15 quarterback at all in NFL.
Yeah, Harrison was a flop overall. He did okay. Like if he was your flex / bench receiver, it'd be fine. But Freeman drafted him to be his.
He didn't get drafted to be a flex, you know, at all. He was what was he? He was drafted 23rd. He was drafted 23rd.
Yeah, that's not good. What's real disturbing about his season is summed up in the last 3 weeks when he had 12 catches on 26 targets. Like that sums up his season.
I think it's more on the quarterback. When these targets are really high and these catches are really low, either you're telling me the receiver dropped a bunch of passes, or these are a lot of bad passes being thrown his direction, and now his stats look like shit because you're airmailing passes at me. Oh.
I think we're tapping into why Freeman went 3-11. Because if you have a stack, a quarterback, wide receiver stack, if you have Brady DeMoss, you know, you're going to make the playoffs. If you have Kyler Murray to a rookie Marvin Harrison, you're going to win 3 games. I remember reading, it was like 2 years ago, I think, where one of the ESPN writers was like, hey, a sneaky stack is Davis Mills to Brandon Cooks. And people were like, what are you talking about? I'm in a super deep league. I'm in DeMoss's brother's league. It's super deep. So I did the stack just to see what would happen, and I dropped Davis Mills by like week 3. I was like, okay, this guy was crazy. But it didn't cost me anything because there's like 10 bench spots in that league. But yeah, this stealing the wins, Saquon Barkley, great season. Aaron Jones, great season. Drake London, pretty good season. Jalen Waddle came alive the last 3 weeks. Too little, too late though. And then you wanted to get into Rico Dowdle. Same thing. Too little, too late for him.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, a little too late. But I mean, against the Bengals' poorish defense, I mean they can't stop a nosebleed, and you could run on them, do that. Circling Kyle Pitts, man.
Do not draft.
Man. I would be shocked if Kyle Pitts is in Atlanta. If he's like, yeah, I'm going to sign a contract with Atlanta, I'd be shocked. You know what I mean? The idea that this man, look, he's super athletic. He can't block. He was drafted to not block because he's that athletic of a guy. All right, you're drafting Calvin Johnson as a tight end. Great. And you're just not going to use him? Kirk Cousins, you're not going to use him? Okay. All right.
He seems kind of soft. I mean, 1 catch on 6 targets, 14 yards.
6 targets? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Lord.
He has 2 catches on 11 targets in the last 3 games. Just a disaster.
Jesus. That's a disaster.
He's been a disaster his whole career.
He just can't. And like I said, he needs to change the scenery. Guys, get away from this. Get from Atlanta because this is not going to work. This is Penix. Penix can't save this. He needs to go somewhere else. Yeah, he had to start Kraft because again, like we said, Pitt sucks. Geno Smith on the bench had 19 points, so he had both quarterbacks scored the same amount of points, which is interesting. So yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah, Herbert, not a good fantasy season overall. Enough to make some spot starts for some teams in need, but next game, this is you. Sweetness 34, 207. You 158. You lost 2 games at the end of the year. Heater hadn't won since Halloween. This looked like a gimme on the schedule for you to get right and get in the playoffs, and Josh Allen had other plans.
Yeah, so on paper, I had a very steep climb because I think the original matchup they had us 133 to 123, so I was already projected to lose. So some of my players did a little bit better than they should have. But focusing on Sweetness' team here, Josh Allen 63 points from the quarterback positions.
Championship.
Josh Allen went crazy. 63 points is nuts. And you just knew it. As soon as they're they're getting the ball again, you're like, oh my God, he's scoring another fucking touchdown. This is dumb. Because they can't stop it. And I just felt, I felt the fancy. At halftime of that game, I was like, I have a good chance. If they slow him down.
Yeah, you had a good week.
And then they didn't. Bijan Robinson, 27 points. Devontae Smith, again, very quiet. 4 for 37, a touchdown. Quiet. Roma Duje, 4 for 42, 2 touchdowns. At halftime, he had no points. The Addison, though, 39 points, 8 for 133, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he was projected to hit 13 points, so going 20 over is crazy work. And he has Sam Darnold's bench for 47 points. I had Sam Darnold at one moment.
I did too. It's not too often you can leave a 47-point quarterback on your bench and still have made the right call with your other quarterback. So, Josh Allen was amazing this week. To Jordan Allison and Justin Jefferson, they became the first duo in team history to post at least 100 receiving yards with multiple TD catches apiece. They both cleared 130 yards, and Addison hauled in 3 scoring strikes. And let's not forget, this franchise has had some very accomplished pass catchers over the years. And that is a prelude to...
You said they're the first?
This week's Hall of... Yeah, on the Vikings.
Okay, I'm about to say, first ever? Okay. But, yeah, I mean, you're right. But, the prolific duos, they're usually, 1 score touchdowns and 1 gets the yards. You know what I mean? Nothing
else here for Heater. Ezekiel Elliott's still on his roster, so...
Zeke's just there, he's collecting a paycheck. He's collecting a paycheck. He has to be. For my team, so remember earlier we were talking about quarterback stats. Quarterback stack, you have your quarterback and your wide receiver. And that's if you have those, that's key to your season. Well, there's a reason why I'm not in the playoffs. You know why? Because my quarterback stack didn't work. My quarterback stack was Aaron Rodgers, and Garrett Wilson. That was my stack. I drafted Aaron Rodgers first, and I picked up Baker Mayfield as kind of a throwaway. Let me pick him up because I need somebody just to. I'm gonna pick up a Tampa Bay guy, and I know he's gonna score some points, but I don't know how much he's gonna score. Baker ended up becoming my full-time quarterback this year. Very consistent, 25 every game. It seems like. But
fourth ranked on the season.
Yeah, he's just very consistent. Lots of turnovers though. Seems to chill with that. He's getting as bad as Joe Burrow right now. But at the same sense, Aaron Rodgers has been hot garbage. I mean, this past week was his first 300 game he had all season.
3 years.
All season. In the last 3 years. Excuse me. Yes. 3 years. Garrett Wilson, 7 for 114. And I think that's putrid because he had a lot of targets. And again, the touchdown, he could add a touchdown, but Aaron Rodgers sailed him. He overthrew him. Aaron Rodgers overthrew him. I understand that statement's so weird to say. We've seen Aaron Rodgers be... come on, man.
Perfect.
So it's... I blame Aaron Rodgers for my season. That's my cop-out. I blame Aaron Rodgers. I blame him.
Well,
fuck this guy.
I mean, Mayfield has fallen off the last month. Like you said, turnovers and injuries to the Bucs receivers. Rashad White had a good game in this week, but Bucky Irving had been cutting into his points the last couple weeks. Kareem Hunt, you called this with Pacheco emerging. Kareem Hunt has 10 points the last 2 weeks. And it's probably not out of the question to think he wore down after not starting the season and training camp and joining the team late and then getting overused during Pacheco's injury.
Yeah, absolutely. Tears in the chat, though, from Mike Evans. I don't think 1,000 yards is happening this year. It's really hard to see 1,000 yards happening because 69 against Oakland is the canary in the coal mine because that shows you defenses are seeing this offense as because there's no other receivers going to step up. That Mike Evans, they're keying in on him, and as good as he is, he can only do so much because he's going to get double coverage, and then Baker Mayfield's not the most accurate quarterback either. So those are the interceptions are coming from as well. So without Chris Godwin there to alleviate some of the pressure, it's tough. So it's Cade Otton had a decent little showing. He had a 40-yard catch to get him to 70 yards. And Calvin Ridley on my bench, 759. He actually cost the Tennessee Titans their win. He ran out of bounds on third. He caught a third down catch and then ran out of bounds instead of turning up the field trying to get the first down. And that was it. So, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. And my fantasy special teams actually showed up really well. For all intents and purposes, they put up 40 points. You know what I mean? So it just, you face somebody who gives you 200 points. I said it once, I'll say it again. If you score 200 points, that's guaranteed to win. We've never, ever seen somebody have two teams have 200 at the same time. So if you hit 200, it's over. It's guaranteed win.
Yeah.
It's the mercy rule. It's over in our league. So that's where we are at.
Too bad they didn't play each other. That would have been fun.
That'd have been terrible.
So that takes us to our last game, Lionheart versus Jordan. Lionheart 5 wins in a row to finish the season. He made the playoffs. Jordan lost. They both finished 8-6. This was 186-120. Lionheart rode the Lions bus again. This was a Thursday night game, so he jumped out big early. Goff, 3 touchdowns, 283 yards. Goff became the first quarterback in NFL history to complete passes to 6+ different receivers in a game, with every one of those pass catchers having at least 5 catches. And the way Lionheart designed his team here, they're all on his team, basically. Laporta, Jameis Williams, David Montgomery, Jamar Gibbs. Puka had a huge game, 12 catches, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns. He made an insane catch falling out of bounds. That was one of the
that was nuts.
Crazy.
He toe
it
dragged.
looked like it was Matrix.
He caught it over the shoulder, but it wasn't over the shoulder. He kind of turned to his left, and he caught it, but he caught the ball underhanded. Like, he caught it and cuffed the ball into his body, like not from the top, from the bottom. That was really weird. But he made
it looked
a hell
like
of
a video glitch.
Yeah, it was a crazy ass catch. I mean, tip my hat to Lionheart. 4 weeks ago, I mean, not even 4 weeks ago, even like the beginning of the season, like, damn, 7 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, you're thinking you're betting all the Lions, and you're like, man, you got to be careful because if the wheels fall off, you just got to accept it. And then it's kind of, when that team's on a bye, you're going to take your loss, which he did. Beyond that, though, when the team that you're banking your bucks on only has one loss this season against Tampa, you know what I mean? Hey, you're doing all right. Your running backs are both getting touchdowns somehow every game. Even Sam Laporta came alive. He was disappearing at the beginning of the season. He's somehow showed up to be serviceable. The Detroit defense is kind of questionable. I would probably find another defense because their defense is kind of leaky now, giving up that many points to the Green Bay like they were. I'd be careful with them going any farther in Detroit and like the December weather. But way the offense is moving. I mean, ride the tide, man. You haven't seen an offense like that since the Peyton Manning Broncos team, really, or the Peyton Manning, Randy Moss, Wes Welker connection. You know what I mean? Or even with the paint of the Tom Brady with the two tight ends with you think of prolific offenses, and that's what I think of. I think of offensive like that, where just like any player you put on your stat sheet that was on that team, they're scoring points, and you're going to win a game because they're going to score heavy points.
Yeah, he played Tank Bigsby over Malik Neighbors. I wouldn't have done that, but it paid off. And Bigsby also seemingly retook the job from ATN going into the playoffs, so that's a big help for his playoff game next week. Jordan Mahomes, just not a good year fantasy-wise. T. Higgins, not a good year fantasy-wise. Nick Chubb, not a good year fantasy-wise.
Jeez.
He lost McCaffrey to injury. Jawan Jennings had a big game, but you're asking a lot going into the playoffs with him as one of your top receivers. Keon Coleman, he picked up. He got a 0. Travis Kelce, I mean, he's a 5th-ranked tight end, but it doesn't feel like it. He hasn't scored a touchdown since week 10. He's only had 2 on the entire season. I do not like Jordan's chances next week in the playoffs.
I don't
We'll talk
either.
about that in the bracket in a minute. But, yeah, this big win for Lionheart.
It's just tough because it's for Jordan to fight the idea that Chris McCaffrey got hurt. Then he picked up his handcuff, and the handcuff gets hurt. So both of them are both at IR right now. It's hard to deal with that. It's rare that happens. Both the handcuffs both get injured. So it's, and you're dealing with Patrick Mahomes being pedestrian. So, and he's riding Mahomes. Yeah. He's going to ride with him. There's no quarterback in sight for him. So he's just going to ride with Mahomes, give him 1 or 2 touchdowns a game. That's what he's ready to do.
Yeah, nope. He has no other choice at this time. So, we'll go through the final standings, the final point totals, the points against. We'll preview the playoff bracket, do the Hall of Fame, and get out of here. So, I've put these in orders. I'm just going to rail them off here. Spawn, first place, 11-3, 2160 points. Smash Hawk, he finished in 4th place, 8-6, 2,092 points. Hine, 9-5. He finished in 3rd place, 2,004 points. I finished 4th in points with 1977. Heater, 13th place, 5th in points, 1938, 4-10. He also finished 1st in points against. He deserved better this season than 4-10. In points against and in points scored. So he got the tough luck this year. Jones, 7-7, 7th place, 1925. He had 1968 points against. You, 7th most points, 8th place finish, 1904. You had the 5th least points against at 1879. Slade, 7-7. He finished in 9th place, 8th overall in points, 1887. He finished with right near the middle of the pack in points against with 1959. Jordan, 9th most points scored, 2nd least points against. So I just went into not liking his roster. This shows he's a bit of a pretender going into the playoffs. Lionheart, 10th most points. He 10th most points against. So that kind of balances out. Yeah, DeMoss. There's only 3 teams with the 2,000 points against. They all finish in the bottom 3 of the league. So sometimes you're not as bad as you think. You just get shitty matchups.
Yeah.
That's it, really, for the points. Spawn, first points scored, least points against. So it's a wonder he didn't go undefeated.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's, 3 losses, though. So, yeah, I mean, that's what it is. There's some luck to this. I mean, there's luck that we set a lineup we hope these players are going to do what they're supposed to do. And sometimes your matchup, you play a matchup where, hey, 158 points for me. If I played maybe 4 other teams in this league last week, I'd have probably gotten the playoffs. But I didn't. So I played Heater, who was not made the playoffs, and who had the best game of the season.
Yeah, if the NFL owners don't add the 18th week, you would have made the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I blame the owners, too.
So let's go to the Wingstop Playoff Bracket presented by Wingstop. The number 1 seed, Rob, gets the bye. Good for him. Congratulations. So, our 4th versus 5th seed matchup is Smash Hawk versus Jordan. The website says Jordan has a 52% win probability. It says Mahomes and Connor are better than Tunga Viola and Kyron Williams. I disagree. It has Kamara better than Chubb. Higgins, Jennings, and Kelsey better than A.J. Brown, Smith, and Jigba, and Johnson, the Saints tight end. I'll give him Kelsey over the Saints tight end, but not over Brown and Jigba.
Yeah, these numbers are booty because for them to project Tua 22 points, Tua hasn't done 22 points yet. So I mean, I don't understand how that even happens. Like that's weird. And Mahomes at 25, Mahomes averages 20, he did 24 at best. T. Higgins, I don't know. 16 points sounds like he's gonna get it. I don't know. That's a weird one. That's a tough one right there. I don't know.
I'm taking Smash Hawk.
Yeah, I got Smash Hawk in this. It should be an easy win for Smash Hawk just based off his quarterback and his running back room, which is super stacked. Because even that, he has Cabernet as bench because he's supposed to not start because Kenneth Walker's back. So he put McCormick in there. Interesting matchup. He has some waiver claims in, so he's gonna pick up somebody else to boost his team. His team might be all new. I mean, for him, I don't think Palmer set his team yet because he has Cortland Sutton on his bench, so he threw Cortland Sutton on his flex spot to definitely make a difference there. But Nick Chubb has just been a shell of himself. I think he'll be better next year.
Yeah.
But this year, he's still trying to get right.
Yep, I totally agree. Next one, Lionheart versus me. Oh, I didn't know that.
Tough.
That sucks.
Tough matchup.
I'm playing the Red Hot Lionheart.
You're playing Red Hot Lionheart, but the Red Hot Lionheart's playing against Buffalo. So that's the and it looks like they're playing Buffalo at home. So could be either way. It could be a shootout, right? It could be a shootout, or Buffalo defense might slow them down. They might not score 40-some points like they did last week. So you have a shot.
Yeah, I like Jaden Daniels over Goff here. I got to give him the edge at running back big time, though. Gibbs and Montgomery are better than Robinson and Pollard.
But I like your matchups you have because they have to go against Buffalo. So I think one will get off, but the other one won't. But you're going to New Orleans with one matchup, and then the other one's Cincinnati, which Pollard should get 100 yards rushing against Cincinnati.
Hopefully. Robinson and Pollard, neither of them are very flashy. Puka versus Cooper Kupp, that's interesting. That could go either way.
Yeah, I think it's a tough matchup either way. Either one person will get off, another one won't. It's going to be, and it sucks because Cooper Kupp is not running the deep routes anymore. It looks like everything is short.
Right.
So it's Puka might have the edge on that one there, but you have the edge with Tyreek Hill with Neighbors because Neighbors against Baltimore defense. Nah.
Bowers is way better than Laporta, whose record he just broke. Bowers is a freak. He's in like a league by himself at tight end. Thielen over Tank Bigsby. Thielen is on fire. The website hasn't caught on to him yet. Vikings have a good matchup against the Bears on defense. The Lions have a possible bad matchup against the Bills on defense.
Very bad matchup. He's gonna bench them. There's no way he start. There's no way you would start Buff. I would no way. There's no way I would start them because Detroit's gonna they're gonna at least give up 24 to 25 points. So they're gonna it's gonna be 4 points.
He loves the Lions.
Jeez.
He's the Lions guy.
There's got to be another team you could pick up. I just would not against Buffalo, man, because Josh Allen doing what he does. Detroit's defense is banged up too. There's no way.
I haven't decided if I'm playing the head coach or not. He says he looks like he's playing the Dolphins. I've got to pick me just because why would I not? You know what I mean? So who you got? Give me some reality here.
Reality thing, I think you have a really good shot at win this game because I like the matchups that your team has to go against than his team because for his players got to face Buffalo, San Fran, and Baltimore, which all three are playoff teams vying for actual playoff spots where your team's playing against teams that aren't making the playoffs. The Niners, Cincinnati, New Orleans, Houston, Atlanta, Dallas. Like, these are all teams that are, like, the poorest defenses. And Thielen, like you said, has been hot. Tyreek Hill's turning on at the right time. Cooper Kupp's the one I'm circling as kind of sussy. But everybody else seems pretty good. And you have Hunter Henry down there. So you have Hunter Henry as, like, a backup plan for a flex spot. So even if you wanted to maybe... I don't know if you'd bench Cooper, but I don't know. Against the Niners defense, man, I feel weird about it because Niners defense is really good. You know what I mean? So,
I could get away with putting Henry at tight end and Bowers in the flex, and Bowers puts up wide receiver numbers.
Right.
I don't
against
think I would
Atlanta
do that,
too.
but it's something to think about.
Yeah.
Last playoff matchup, the number 2 seed Punishers versus the number 7 seed Zug Offspringen, formerly Boy Scout Trombones. This will be interesting. He loves him some Bo Nix. This is a new ad because he played Hurts this week, so it looks like he's planning on Bo Nix against the Colts. Ramondre Stevenson, Najee Harris, Jamar Chase, DeAndre Hopkins, and Njoku. He's got McConkey in his flex spot. We'll see if he plays this week. If he doesn't, he's got slim pickings. It'd be down to like Ertz, Algier, and Smith-Schuster. I'd probably go Algier. You don't want to play him in a playoff game, though.
Bo Nix has been hot for him the last couple weeks. Jalen Hurts has been lukewarm for him last couple weeks. So I would temper to say he's making kind of the right choice, but I think it's a coin flip here. Because will he get a 30-point output like he did against Carolina? But Jalen Hurts got to go against. He has to go against Pittsburgh, which is a tough matchup. So that's just 26 points is a figment of imagination. I would much rather my quarterback play against Indianapolis than the red hot Steelers right now, who is vying for a playoff spot. You know what I mean? That's
at home too.
So at home too. Nah. Cleveland defense. Kansas City defense against Cleveland, 12 points. I think they're banking on a pick six. They're banking on a pick six here. That's what they're banking on here. Lad McConkey is something you have to pay attention to because he's questionable. He was out last week, so he has to pay attention to that. Because if Lad don't play, then he'll have to throw somebody else in that spot. Maybe Algier. Probably throw Algier in that spot because he has to pay attention to that. That injury's real. Diop, though, I don't know. I don't know about that 10 points. But
you gotta play him.
And Tampa Bay should have an easy win here. That 61% sounds about right. With Baltimore against the Giants, great matchup. Chuba Hubbard against Dallas, great matchup. Scary Terry against New Orleans, good matchup. Like I said, it's just the teams are playing. I would much rather my player face this team in December than what he's facing. His players face those. That's just, And he has a really red hot. Jonnu Smith? Jonnu Smith has been red hot at tight end of late.
Jonnu had a 0 in regulation last week. He got his 13 points all in overtime.
He got him.
But yeah, he's been hot.
He's been red hot.
The Punishers game is going to come down to Lamar, Henry, Hubbard, and McLaurin. He's got half a roster here that can do real damage. The other half is a coin flip. Jacoby Myers, Johnny Smith, and ATN are all coin flips.
Yeah, definitely. So it's it should be easy dub there for Tampa. I mean, they're going to continue their
He's got a
route.
good head coach on his bench in the Steelers, but they're playing the Eagles on the road, so that is a tough matchup.
Yeah, so he's smart to not play them.
Give me the Punishers in this one. That's a safe pick, I think.
Oh yeah, I would definitely make that call as well.
So we'll do the Hall of Famer and get out of here. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. So it's me this week. You did. Who'd you do last week? Was that LaShawn McCoy?
Yes.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley broke LaShawn McCoy's Eagles franchise rushing record this week also. So
That's wild.
that was a good pick by you. For me this week's inductee is in our thoughts, as he recently announced he would be stepping away from his duties on ESPN's NFL Sunday Countdown due to a health issue.
Okay.
From the Thundering Herd of Marshall, Randy Moss slipped to pick number 21, where the Minnesota Vikings happily took him. He rewarded their faith in him immediately when he put up one of the greatest rookie seasons in league history, helping the Vikings to the NFC Championship game. He's played for the Vikings, Raiders, Patriots, Titans, and one final season with the 49ers that ended in his third Super Bowl defeat. Awards and accolades: the 98 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, 2007 NFL Comeback Player of the Year, 4-time First Team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, 5-time receiving touchdowns leader, a member of the 2000s All-Decade Team, NFL 100th Anniversary Team, the 97 Fred Biletnikoff Award winner, 97 Paul Warfield Trophy winner, 982 career receptions, 15,292 career receiving yards, 156 touchdowns. He once mooned a bunch of cheeseheads. He is a member of the College Football Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Straight cash homie. Get well soon, Randy Moss. Get your gold jacket. You're in the Bubby Brister and Friends Fantasy Football Hall of Fame.
Welcome to Hall of Fame, my friend. Welcome. Straight cash homie. You know what I mean? The Oakland years were depressing, and Bill Belichick got him in New England for like a bag of chips and a Sprite, and it was like, okay. And we all thought Randy Moss was dead for real, and then he blew it up. And I think from that point on, like, every wide receiver trade like that changed, because now every team's like, oh, wait a minute, this guy, we knew what he did, he could do this again. Now we were scared of another Randy Moss situation, because before, it never really happened before like that. Randy Moss is the first like Hall of Fame elite talent wide receiver do something like that, go on a team, just go somewhere else and be like, well, he's not going to be as good as he should be because we've seen it on a bad team. But yeah, he makes our Hall of Fame a better place. He's one of the most exciting players to watch.
So yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening this week. We'll be back with the playoff bracket results, and good luck to all the playoff teams.
Good luck, y'all.
Except for Brindle, who's playing me.